good evening. This is Business Today, the program where we talk about business, entrepreneurship and much more trending topics in Sri Lanka and around the world as well. Now today's topic is going to be about a digital economy and especially about a venture called DigiEcon. And to talk about these matters, we are joined with Mr. Prasad Samarawickrama. He's the project director of DigiEcon 2030, as well as a member of the High-Level Officers Committee for Digital Economy Master Plan for Sri Lanka and the consultant to the State Minister of Technology. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening.
All right, so let's start off with the meaning of a digital economy. What does it mean exactly?
Actually, before moving to digital economy, one must understand the meaning of economy first. So, for example, in economy, it's a system. So, in system that produces goods and services and trying to cater the needs of the society. So, when digitalization is used to cater the economic requirements in a society, we call it a digital economy. Now the thing is, in most of the countries, they are focusing more on digital economy because there are a lot of advantages coming from digital economy alone. For example, India itself is earning more than 130 billion US dollars. It's more than Saudi Aramco's revenue from fossil fuel. So likewise, so a lot of governments are now moving towards digital economy to reap all the benefits coming from digital economy. So in Sri Lanka also we are looking forward to get all the benefits from digital economy.
Right, okay. And speaking of DigiEcon, do you mind giving us a bit of an introduction before we dive into the main topics? Do you mind giving us an introduction about DigiEcon?
Yeah, actually, if we check the macroeconomic condition in the country, we know there's an issue when it comes to the foreign revenue. So what we saw is we basically get the main revenue income from textile industry and also from foreign remittances and also from tourism industry. And also now the issue is textile industry is shrinking in Sri Lanka. Though we are happy or not, we have to accept that. So this is a fact. So in that case, we need to identify some alternative means to bring in some more dollars into the country. So if we can bring in more dollars, I think we'll be able to fill the gap of this deficit in terms of forex income and forex expenditure. So for this, actually, we found digitization as a key drive. By this, actually, what we are going to do is we are trying to have a very stable and also resilient digital economy in the country. For that, actually, we have brainstormed with a lot of experts in the country, and also finally we came up with this solution called digital economy 2023 to 2030. So actually with this, what we are going to do is, this is the National Digital Economy Acceleration Program. This is not a digital economy program, actually this is an acceleration program. What I mean is, in Sri Lanka there are a lot of industries who are into digitalization already, but the problem is they are working in silos. So in that case, as the government, especially in this situation, the government should focus on bringing all these teams and works together so as to build a very holistic platform for digitization. So this is where DigiEcon comes. With DigiEcon, actually this is directly coming from the President. So he is the visionary leader behind this initiative, and this is executed by the Minister of Technology. Honorable State Minister of Technology, Kanaka Herath, is leading the initiative. So with this, actually what we are going to do is we are working with the World Bank and also the private key stakeholders in the country. I'll give you the details later. And with them, actually what we are going to do is we are building the National Digital Economy Acceleration Program. We call it Master Plan and Policy Framework for the country. So that is already ongoing. So with this, first what we are going to do is we are going to unveil the National Digital Economy Acceleration Program, which is called Master Plan and Policy Framework for the country, mainly focusing until 2030. And also we are having 17 plus events in the country which are either national level or in the international level. With them, actually we are doing some exhibitions, conferences and symposiums, mainly to build the trust in the local industry and also in the international arena, and also bring in more investors more income to the country. So we'll discuss in detail later.
Sure. Let's talk a bit about the objectives of DigiEcon. What is the reason you're doing this, and what do you plan on accomplishing from this?
Actually, so currently the main concern is building a very sustainable and resilient economy in the country. So this is the issue. So there's a USD 10 billion plus gap when it comes to forex inflows and forex outflows.
Okay.
So in that case, we need to find a way to fill this gap. So best way is to identify our key income generators, as I mentioned before. So one is the IT BPM sector, and also the latest technology. So the world is now talking about Industry 4.0 and also Industry 5.0. But in Sri Lanka, when it comes to Industry 4.0, I think we are lagging behind compared to the countries in the region. So what we thought of is to leverage this Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0 technologies to have a leapfrog into building a very inclusive digital economy in the country. This is the first target. The other one is still in Sri Lanka, we didn't have a master plan for the country for digital economy, so we established that. Okay, and also we are trying to promote tradable goods and services in the country to bring in additional dollars to the country. So this is one major concern. So with this, we'll be promoting a lot of tradable goods and services, leveraging the technology. And also the other one is, when it comes to the investments and business, so there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of red tapes in the country, though we are not open to talk about.
Yeah.
So in that case, we are trying to remove all those red tapes and to have a very conducive business environment. We call it a single window process. So we are starting with ICT BPM sector. So we are establishing a single window process for ICT BPM sector, so that any investor who are interested in ICT BPM sector can come and easily establish in the country and do whatever their businesses. And
Right.
also other one is leveraging the human capital. We have very strong human capital, but we are not leveraging that to build the economy. So we thought of leveraging the human capital as much as possible, and also to build the trust among them so that they will not leave the country. Okay. The other one is the social awareness and the engagement. Though we talk about all this digital economy and all this Industry 4.0 and all, if the general public, if they don't know and if they don't engage with us, our effort will not be successful. So in that case, we are having a very strong plan, a PR plan, and also a branding campaign to build the awareness and also to get the engagement from the general public. Other one is we are trying to raise the global awareness, as I mentioned before, to build the trust actually. And so this is a long-term plan. But when it comes to this year, so we are starting DigiCon 2023. With that, actually, we are mainly focusing on some low-hanging fruits. First one is building a business pipeline of $1 billion USD additional income. So this is a business pipeline. I think it would take at least 1 to 2 years. So this is the main concern. We are building that. And then, as I mentioned before, the master plan and the policy framework of the country, we are building that. And also we are trying to identify the best startups and best scale-ups in the country, and trying to link them with the investors, venture capitalists, and also to take them to the international arena. So by that way, we are trying to support them and also to bring more income to the country. And also we are trying to bring best practices in some key economic sectors in the country. So these are the major concerns and major objectives of DigiCon 2030.
Right. And what are some of the strategies you take when it comes to actually implementing said objectives?
Yeah, actually, also, as I mentioned you before, this is directly coming from H.E. the President. He's the visionary behind this one. And with his support, with his patronage, State Minister of Technology, Honorable Kanaka Herat, is leading this initiative to link all the ministries who are relevant in the digital economy, and also key public and private sector institutions. So this is one major strategy that we are using. So this is a public-private partnership. This is not a private event, or this is not just a government event. This is a public-private partnership. And also we are getting support from the World Bank. And also we are having a lot of G2G collaborations with other countries like Australia and also India, Iran and Saudi Arabia. Right. So likewise we are building the G2G collaborations, and also we recently visited China. So with them also we are building a very strong relationship in terms of digital economy. And also we are partnering with a lot of industry chambers. For example, we are having partnership with SLASCOM, FITIS, Computer Society, BCS, that is British Computer Society Sri Lanka, and also we are working with IESL, and also we are working with Nerd Center, which is under Ministry of Education. So, and also we are trying to build partnerships with a lot of private institutions, including some international companies and local companies. So by that way, we are trying to build this ecosystem. So that is our strategy.
Right. And well, obviously behind any such initiative, there's always a strong team behind it. Tell us a bit about the team composition.
Yeah, actually, we are working with almost all the ministries who are into digital economy. So we have 34 ministries in the country. So we are working with more than 20 plus ministries. And also we are working with a lot of institutions. For example, we are working with Ministry of Agriculture to build to have a very modernized agriculture platform in the country. And also we are working with the Ministry of Transport, and also Ministry of Investment Promotion, and also Ministry of Port Shipping and Aviation. And so likewise we are working with most of the ministries. We have separate working committees for each and every ministry. And also we are working with a lot of institutions. So by that way, actually we are partnering with a lot, apart from what I have mentioned previously about our partnerships. Yeah.
Right. So there's a close synergy between all of these institutions in order to achieve this goal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. When it comes to the partner ecosystem as well, do you mind talking a bit about that?
Yeah. So for the first time in the history, we could bring all the ICT BPM giants in the country under one umbrella, that is DigiCon. Okay. So we launched the program on March 30th at Temple Trees. So there we partners and we onboard almost all the ICT BPM giants in the country.
Right.
So including Computer Society, FITIS, SLASCOM, BCS, and with them actually we are bringing in a lot of companies into this initiative. So they actually with them what we are going to do is actually, you know, the situation in the country is not so favorable for the business and for the investments, and here this is the best time the government can help them in their initiatives. For example, actually they had actually a lot of annual events. Some had exhibitions, some had symposiums, some had conferences, and also they are doing a lot of voluntary works to sustain the industry in the country. But in the past, governments have not supported. So this is the gap that we saw. So we thought of supporting them. So we invited them. So they were more than happy to be part of this initiative, and they parked all their events under DigiCon. So as DigiCon, we are the umbrella brand, and we are supporting them in terms of branding and PR and facilitation when it comes to linking with the foreign institutions. And also actually we are working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to give them support. So likewise we are helping them to look into new avenues, look into new markets across the world, and also we are helping them to take their events to the international level. And also we are trying to help when it comes to in terms of funding, and also we are trying to help to link all these government institutions with these with our partners. You know, there are some protocols to be followed, and there are a lot of concern when it comes to collaborations with government institutions. So in that case, the Ministry of Technology is supporting all these affiliations. So this is how we are facilitating them.
Right. Okay. So when it comes to the plan and the policy framework, how does that work exactly?
Actually, we must thank World Bank team who are continuously supporting this endeavor. during last 5 to 6 months. So they have visited us several times, and they have given us a framework for the digital economy based on their experience in the region. So they have established a framework so that our experts in the country can work together to build this digital economy master plan and policy framework. So there are 6 thematic working areas, including broadband connectivity, access and use, digital transactions, acceleration of digitalization of key economic sectors, and digital data, service infrastructure, digital safeguards, and digital industry, skill and jobs. So under these 6 thematic working areas, Sri Lanka's best brains are working. Okay, so then they are preparing the drafts. Then it goes to the HLOC. HLOC is the High Level Officers Committee. We are checking the cross-cutting areas if there are some gaps when it comes to policy framework. So then we are having a lot of discussions in the HLOC, and then we are trying to have a very holistic plan covering all the 6 thematic working areas. Then only we will be consolidating the reports to prepare one single report, and also a master plan and policy framework for the country, and this will be tabled to the parliament and also HE. Okay. So this is how it goes, and at the moment actually we have almost finalized the draft, and by October 11th during our grand opening we'll be unveiling this draft plan for the general public so that they can give the comments. So once we are getting the comments, we'll be able to finalize everything by December or January. So this is the plan.
Okay. And what are some of the major technologies which are involved behind this venture? Right?
Yeah. So we are working on Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0 technologies. So when it comes to Industry 4.0, it is basically about CPS, that is to say cyber physical systems. Meaning to say there will be a lot of automations when it comes to manufacturing. And also we are talking about leveraging big data, AI and machine learning. And also there will be technologies like IoT, including narrowband IoT and wideband IoT, and also there will be a lot of new technologies coming in like blockchains. So what we are going to do is we are trying to leverage the Industry 4.0 framework to improve the efficiency and the productivity in the production sector by leveraging all these technologies. And also on top, we have a plan to leverage Industry 5.0. Here, as I mentioned you before, so one of our objective is to leverage our human capital as much as possible, because we have very strong human capital. So in that case, Industry 5.0 would be the best framework. So we'll be using a lot of concepts in Industry 5.0 also.
Right. And how exactly does Industry 5.0, for example, how does it really improve the human capital? How does it work?
Yeah, actually it's like this. You know, previously, even though there are machines, we don't have information about the production, its capability, whether it is in good condition, or whether it needs maintenance, or whether it is working properly with other entities in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, but now the thing is, you know, with Industry 4.0 and the 5.0, we are talking about machine learning, big data, and AI. So with this, what we can do is we can real-time collect the statistics of the machines, and also real-time impose some policies. For example, if we want to increase the production, we can real-time identify the capability, and also we can impose new commands. Okay. So likewise, this is called CPS, cyber physical systems. So instead of mechanical systems, now we have CPS. With CPS, we are getting real-time data, and also we can impose some commands real-time. So by that way, we can improve a lot of efficiencies, and we'll be able to identify a lot of gaps in the production processes. So this way, we'll be able to improve the efficiency and the productivity in manufacturing.
Okay, great. Now, let's move on to the value-added ecosystem. Tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, actually, we are not just building doing some exhibitions, conference or symposiums, or we are not just publishing or unveiling the master plan and the policy framework. What we are building is a valuable ecosystem. Okay, there's a value chain, international value chain. We are trying to link to that value chain, and also we are building a very robust valuable ecosystem. So first one is the digital nomad visa. You know, currently we are mainly focusing on traditional tourism, right? And almost we are saturated. Okay, there are a lot of concerns. But if we can bring in digital nomads to the country with a new visa, then that would itself help to bring about additional $300 million to $400 million directly.
Right.
And also this would help to bring technology diffusion to the country, because a lot of digital nomads will come, and with them a lot of investments will come, a lot of technologies will come, and also we can have a networking with all these experts. So number one focus here is promoting digital nomad visa. So we are working with Ministry of Investment Promotion, and also we are working with Ministry of Public Security to launch digital nomad visa. With this, actually a lot of changes will happen, and also we have a very strong plan for MICE tourism promotion. We are closely linked with Ministry of Tourism, so they are also working on promoting digital tourism, MICE tourism, and also digital nomad visa. So we are helping them to establish this framework for the country. So then Sri Lanka will be the first country to launch digital nomad visa in Asia Pacific region.
Okay.
So this is first concern. So, and the other one is e-payments. So there's a mandate to establish e-payments in the country by March 31st of 2024. Next year, March 31st, we'll be establishing digital payments across all the government institutions, including divisional secretaries, local governments and all. So with that, people will be able to pay their taxes and other expenses, other payments using digital currencies. Okay, so this will be a mandate. Okay, so it will be very easy for them and very convenient. Even without visiting the locations, they will be able to do everything using their smartphones. So this is one major concern. Now the development is ongoing. So we'll be starting a pilot very soon. By September 1st, we'll be starting the pilot covering 5 government institutions. So that after that, we'll be rolling out e-payments across the country.
Okay.
And also the other one is single window approvals. So as I mentioned before, so one of our key objective is to build a very conducive business environment. For that, we need to avoid the red tapes, right? To avoid the red tapes, so we are working with the Ministry of Investment Promotion to establish the single window approval for ICT BPM sector. So it will be very convenient for the investors. You know, globally there's an index for ease of doing businesses. Okay, with that actually we'll be able to improve our ease of doing business ranking in a significant way, so that a lot of ICT BPM sector related investors will come to Sri Lanka. And the other one is we are trying to identify the strong scale-ups in the country and also strong startups in the country, and then we are trying to link them with investors like venture capitalists, angel investors and high net worth individuals. So this is also ongoing, and there's a strong platform and there's a strong program for that. And with that, we'll be able to build a very sustainable startup ecosystem. That also one of the key deliverable. And the other one is the building of G2G collaborations with countries like Australia, Singapore, India, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and also we are planning to have a collaboration with Estonia. So by that way, we are trying to get their expertise in digital economy into the country. I think there's no point of reinventing the wheel, right? So Singapore, for example, they are way ahead of digital economy, and also India is doing a remarkable job when it comes to digital economy, and also there are a lot of other countries who are in digital economy. So we are planning to get their support. Actually, we have already started the negotiations. We have gone a long journey so far. We have very strong hopes for strong G2G collaborations.
Right.
Yeah, and also we are trying to promote MICE tourism. MICE tourism means business tourism as much as possible. So once you have the digital nomad visa in place, it will be very easy for us to promote MICE tourism across the world. Okay. So we are working with Ministry of Tourism Promotion, and also we are trying to link with Sri Lankan Airlines and Sri Lankan Holidays, and also institutions like TESL and Slido in the country. So by that we will be able to promote MICE tourism across the country. So these are the major key deliverables that we are going to implement as the valued ecosystem.
Okay. And when it comes to the sectors which are mainly involved in this procedure, why don't you tell us a bit about that as well?
Actually, we have 3 key focus areas. Okay. First one is ICT, Information Communication Technology. The other one is industries. The other one is education research sector. Actually, we had a lot of discussions with a lot of public and private institutions in the country. For example, when it comes to ICT, we had discussions with telco operators, and also we are planning to have some discussions with telco vendors and help them to have a very conducive business environment. Okay. And also we discussed Ministry of Industries. There are 21 sectors under Ministry of Industries. Okay. So for example, there are industries like agriculture, transport, education, apparel, banking and finance, tourism, and trade and finance, and a lot. So there are 21 sectors inside the Ministry of Industries.
Right.
And also we are working with a lot of other entities like NIA. We have a collaboration with NIA, and also we are working with NERDS. NERDS means which is a research entity under Ministry of Education. So likewise, we are working with a lot of sectors, and also we are trying to bring in the best practices and the best technology into some of the key sectors, including agriculture, transport, and health. So this is how we are going to build this ecosystem.
Right. And when it comes to the evolution of this project from the start to where it is now, how has that journey been?
Yeah, actually, we have a steering committee and also an operating committee. The steering committee is chaired by HE, the president himself, and the operating committee is chaired by State Minister of Technology, Honorable Kanaka Herath.
Right.
And under that, we have separate working committees focusing on different areas and also different institutions. And actually, one thing is our operating committee is mainly comprised of volunteers. Okay. And also we are getting support from Minister of Technology, so we have to mention that. We have to thank them as well. So we have a plan to establish this as a regional event.
Okay.
In APAC region. You know, there are some international events like Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. So likewise, we'll be able to, if we will be successful in this journey this year, next year we are planning to take this to the international level and make it as a international technology event in the Asia Pacific region. So this is the plan. So likewise, we'll be having plans up until 2030.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking about the progress so far, when it comes to the development and how it has been going, how do you see the progress?
Actually, we had more than 80 plus meetings, mean to say 80 plus engagements with a lot of ministries, institutions, and also with World Bank, and also we had a lot of G2G collaborations. So now, as of today, we have a good news for digital nomad visa. So it has been almost approved. So we'll be able to launch digital nomad visa very soon. So our grand opening will be on October 11th. By October 11th, we'll be able to launch digital nomad visa. And the other one is e-payments. E-payments also, we are now developing the system. We'll be starting the pilot very soon. So likewise, we'll be able to establish e-payments by October 11th in some of the government institutions. And also, single window approach is also having very good progress. Honorable Minister Dilum Amunugama has almost already agreed to establish this system, and he is supporting a lot. So this single window approval for ICT sector will be in place very soon.
Right.
And likewise, also we are trying to launch 5G, but there are a lot of concerns when it comes to the financials. Okay, so we have to have a very strong ecosystem supporting the operators and vendors. So once that is in place, definitely we'll be able to launch 5G services.
Right.
And also now we have a program called Digital Innovation Summit. With Digital Summit, actually we have prepared a dashboard for matchmaking. With that actually this is a software platform. Using that we can park all the investors who are interested in the investments, and also we can park all the strong startups and scale-ups. Then we can have a matchmaking session. So likewise, we can have a very strong startup ecosystem development in the country. And also, as I mentioned it before, so we had a lot of G2G collaborations, and they are very successful up until now. So we'll have a lot of support from the countries who we are working with.
Right.
Yeah, and also we discuss with a lot of international companies and also a lot of local tech giants, and with them also we are planning to have a lot of collaborations. So all in all, actually we have very good progress. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to technologies which you mentioned, especially things like 5G, how far away do you think those types of technologies are from really becoming applicable to the consumer?
Actually, 5G is mainly about the enterprises. With 4G, we have a lot of super apps, right? We have Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and all, YouTube and all, right? So 5G is all about enterprises. Meaning to say, with 5G there are three key components. One is actually mean to say three key services. One is EMBB, enhanced mobile broadband. Other one is URLLC, ultra reliable low latency communications. Other one is MMTC, massive machine type communications. So this MMTC and URLLC, all these are talking about the industry. Okay, with 4G we can have good data experience, but with 5G we'll be mainly focusing on some aspects like low latency and massive machine type communications like massive IoT services. So we are talking about smart cities, smart grids, and a lot of automation, and also real-time service deliveries. Actually those are mainly into industries. So with 5G I think we'll be able to boost the industry sector a lot, but for general public use 4G would be somewhat enough for the time being. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to a project as such, a large scale project, obviously there are challenges which arise with all these developments which are happening. Do you mind telling us a bit about the challenges you face and maybe some steps you took to overcome them as well?
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned it before, we had more than 80 plus meetings to onboard all the government and public and private institutions. So onboarding is not so easy. So we have to have a very strong message, and we have to build the trust. So building the trust among all these entities is not so easy. But once they get the message, they themselves get onboarded. So that's the good thing. Actually, even though we have some issues in the country, we have some systems which are not that user friendly. But once you have a very good story to tell, and once you can give a very impressive message, they get onboarded. So the storytelling is the difficult part. And the other one is getting buy-in. Getting buy-in is somewhat difficult because in Sri Lanka we are almost working in silos, right? So for different sectors you have silos. So in that case, integrating all the silos is not so easy. Okay, so this is the other challenge, that we faced. And other one is the as the Minister of Technology, actually we have very limited resources, and that's why we are getting voluntary support from the industry. So we are working with limited number of resources, but we are doing a great job. Okay, so we can be happy, and our volunteers can be happy about what they have done so far and the contribution to digital economy. But I mean, when it comes to the resources, there's a resource issue. And other one is, especially during this time, identifying or in getting sponsors and partners on board is very difficult. Okay, this is a major challenge, not only for us, for all our partners, because we need a lot of money to all these activities. For some, actually, they need more than 90 million, but they don't get a cent from the government. So they are getting all these through sponsors and partners. Okay, so that is how they are doing it. So we have to appreciate their work. That way, actually, they are trying to build a very strong industry, ICT BPM sector in the country, but they have some challenges. So we are trying to help them by onboarding new sponsors and partners globally and locally. So these are the challenges that we faced.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, finally, when it comes to future plans, what else have you in mind to implement towards the future?
Actually, so far, we have onboarded most of the key entities in the government and private sector. And as the next plan, what we are going to do is we are trying to recognize whoever contributed to the digital economy. So by that way, we are trying to motivate them and also motivate the sector. For example, there are a lot of businesses who have done a lot of marvelous things when it comes to digital economy. So they have done a lot of innovations, especially during COVID-19 closed down. A lot of industries and lots of businesses came up with new ideas. So we are trying to identify all these institutions. And also I have to mention that there are a lot of government institutions who are into digitalization. But the thing is, as I mentioned before, there are some gaps, some are working in silos. But still what we are going to do is we are trying to identify them and recognize them. So that by that way we are trying to motivate them, and also we give a very strong message to that specific sector. For example, if we identify someone in the transport sector and if we recognize them, whoever in the transport sector would also be motivated to get on board and get recognized. So by that way we are going to give this strong message of digital economy to that specific sector. Likewise, we are trying to cover almost all the sectors in the digital economy. And next one is we are giving them a platform to showcase their digital economy roadmaps. For example, let's say if we take telecommunication sector, if we can identify the operators or vendors who have contributed a lot to the industry, then we have 17 plus events. So during these events we can give them the opportunity to showcase their plan for the digital economy, so that they can showcase what they have. Likewise, their competition can showcase their ones. So likewise, this way we are trying to have some catalysts from the industry itself to promote the digital economy and also to have a very strong engagement from society.
Now, what are some of the events which you have planned, which is upcoming?
Yeah, actually we are starting the program on October 11th with our grand opening. In the grand opening, we'll be unveiling the Digital Economy Master Plan Policy Framework draft, so that people can review it and give their feedback. So based on the feedback, we'll be finalizing the Digital Economy Master Plan Policy Framework of the country. Okay. So then we'll be launching this by end of December or early January. So this is first thing. And also October 11th, we are having NITC, National Information Technology Conference, conducted by Company Society of Sri Lanka. And in parallel, SLASCOM is doing their National IT Career Fair. So this will be from October 11th to October 13th. And then we'll have Digital Investment Summit, again conducted by Company Society of Sri Lanka together with ICTA. So with this, actually we will be bringing 100 plus investors to the country, and also will link our strong startups and scale-ups with them. So we'll have this matchmaking session during this Digital Investment Summit. This is a key focus area for us to bring a lot of forex to the country in the future. The other one is API Asia, so which is on October 19th, which is done by FITIS. And then we have Techno. Techno is conducted by IESL, and which is from October 20th to October 22. And then we'll have National ICT Awards done by NBQSA, NBQSA 2023. This is again coming from British Computer Society of Sri Lanka. So they are doing this for the 25th time. And that will be on October 25th. And we'll have a Nerd Symposium on 2nd of November. And then we'll have Infotel, which is another exhibition coming from FITIS from November 3rd to November 5th. And also we'll have a range of events including Educational Forum, Young Scientist Competition, Lanka Internet Day, and also Technology Channel Conference, Digital Excellence Awards, Education and Government PG Program, Digital Trust Asia, Cloud Day, SME Program, and Playbook launch. So these are coming from FITIS itself. So we have 17 plus events at the moment already lined up, and all will be either national level or international level. So we are focusing on about 1 million direct participants. So FITIS alone is focusing about 500,000, and the remaining programs will be focusing on another 500,000. So we are talking about international experts and local industry experts, and also the companies, and also we have already invited Mr. Jeff Bezos and also Mr. Bill Gates and also Mr. Nilekani. So even though if they would not be able to come, so we are trying to get them at least online. So this is our plan. So we have a big plan. So most of the time, actually the president will participate for the inauguration of all the events, and also we are inviting a lot of VVIP crowd, and also from Minister of Foreign Affairs, we are inviting a lot of high commissioners and also ambassadors, and also business community. So this is the business lineup.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this knowledge and insight with us this evening when it comes to the digital economy as well as DigiEcon as well. That was Prasad Samarawickrama, the Project Director of DigiEcon 2030, member High-Level Officers Committee for Digital Economy Master Plan for Sri Lanka, as well as a consultant to the State Minister of Technology. Thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
And that winds up today's episode of Business Today. Do join us next time as well. Till then, have a good night.